hello there. Let's see if we can get a good view here. Hello there. How are you today? And welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Well, it is good to be here with you on this cold and frigid day here in the Northeast. You are here with me. I am Catherine, and my channel is Catherine's Garden and Home LWS, and we are in zone 6 in the Northeast in the United States of America. And I am an urban girl. I'm a city girl. My home is in the city, and it's in the neighborhoods here of Boston. And we are experiencing some cold temps. Maybe not as cold as some other parts of the country, but cold enough. Yeah. And yesterday it snowed, and then it turned to ice. And so everything just feels a little bit more chilly. But I am not complaining because I'm thankful that I'm in my nice warm home. And I'm thankful that I have you all here to talk to and to share with. And I hope that all is going well for you wherever you are, that you are experiencing some comfort even in the middle of all of this cold and snow and all that other stuff that's happening. So I am very happy to be here with you today, and we're just going to talk about trees. Yeah, we're going to talk about trees and the importance of trees. And it just so happened that this month is a month in Israel in which they are planting trees. They celebrate trees in this month, the planting of trees and the building up of the land over there. I think here in Boston, May is really considered Arbor Day, or the planting, but we need to start to consider our trees, especially if you are planning on planting fruit trees, or if you have trees in your yard, in your garden, especially fruit trees. You may start to think about gathering the different sprays, but just in case you have to spray anything, or if you want to get a fruit tree, to figure out what fruit tree is best in your neck of the woods, and also to see if you would want to try something new. If you aren't aware of it, I made this journal for us. It is the Intentional Gardening Journal of 2024. And guess what is on the cover? My apple tree blossom. Yes, and so it is a good thing that it's on here, because I would not be thinking about dormancy sprays and all of that stuff for my apple trees if it wasn't on the cover here. But we want to be intentional in our gardening and to be aware. And so if you have not picked up a copy, it's never too late to pick up a copy from Amazon, because I haven't gotten deep into it yet. But we will be working in the journal to plan and to start to think intentionally about what we want to put in our gardens. The most that I've gotten to so far is writing my name in it and the year 2024. But soon we will be looking at the other things. And so here you could see here the pictures of my tree here in the fall. Trees offer a lot of beauty to the garden. So you may want to consider, do you want to plant a tree? Do you want to have a tree in your garden? And we're going to soon need to look at our growing zone. and find out how many days. And I know that some of you have already started to gather your seeds together. I'm waiting for it to warm up because soon the Dollar Tree will have the seeds. And soon, if not already, Ocean Job Lot, where I got my burpee seeds for 50% off or 40% off, will have seeds. And we will be talking seeds, not trees. So get ready, get ready, get ready for this. And I want to share with you this, that trees are vital for us and very important, and they play a very, very important part in our lives. Planting trees. And I have this scripture here. You bought seeds, Sonia? Hey, Sonia, how are you? You bought seeds already? Oh, that's right. You're in the South, so they probably have your seeds already there. They haven't come up north yet, but I'm sure that they will be in the ground. They'll be available for us soon. As you can see, I still have some Christmas lights because it's dark up here. And so just to add a little brightness, I decided to keep the Christmas lights there. But yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Let's see, who else is with me? Sonia. Broke Farm is there. Hey, Broke Farmer, how are you? It's good to see you too. Yes, I am talking trees. And I just want to just start thinking about trees. And I got this catalog, which junk seeds and plants, family owned, operated for 117 years, and they have trees. They have fruit trees, apple trees, and then they show you pear trees. You could order a pear tree. They have cherries, apricots, and nectarines, and they have nut trees, plum trees, nut trees, and so forth. And then they also offer trees if you want to put trees in your yard, like bargain trees. So that's part of the reason why I decided to talk about trees. Of course, the first reason is because my tree here, I have to go and get some dormancy spray for my apple trees, my peach trees, and the pear tree. Well, the pear doesn't seem to suffer as much as the apple tree and the peach tree. They seem to suffer more from insect damage and so forth. But I love the blossom, and I want to make sure that they're doing well. I would love to get a cherry tree also. Cherry tree. I would love to plant a cherry tree in my garden, in my yard as well. I know I'm early, but I sprayed my apple tree a week ago. You did, Sonia? Yeah, it's that time to start spraying and so forth. But it's so cold that, of course, that is the last thing on my mind, going out there in the cold to spray my tree. But I do need to gather this stuff together, the ingredients, because I had some from last year, but I think that it's all finished. And so I'm going to need to upgrade and get some more, go to Lowe's and get some more. Because that's where I got the spray from last time. I got it from Lowe's. And it was very good to be able to get the spray from them and have it and put it together. And then find that perfect day to go out there and spray away, So, yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you all about trees. And I said there was a certain thinking that was going on in my mind. And let me read this to you. I wrote this a while back, just in my own thoughts, and I called it Morning Moments. Children of Zion celebrate. I will pour out my spirit on every kind of people. Planting trees. The garden speaks to me of beautiful possibilities and a promise of a fruitful year. The trees are going to bear fruit again. Everything is greening up in the garden. We will have a large crop of vegetables and fruit if we are willing to put in the work. So let's celebrate the possibilities of great things. Spring is a reminder that we can start afresh and plant a new garden. Sometimes we want to repeat what we did last year because we are looking for comfort and familiarity. However, the garden is telling us that we can find comfort in change. Change requires that we look at life from a different perspective. We cannot bring everything from the past into our present. It just won't fit. We need to dream of our future and make that our reality for this season. Yeah, that's why we have our gardening journal to help us plan to see what can we hold on to and what do we need to let go of. I remember when the new year began in January, the ground was barren and cold. It did not appear as if anything will grow again. However, in May, it will. We'll see drastic changes that encourage us to go on out and create what we see in our imagination. And I've been having a lot of fun going back and looking at my old videos of last year. And I hope that you all that you saw last Saturday. I started a series of my garden review for 2023. And I just took parts of the year of the gardening tours that I had and put it together so that you could see what happened in spring, what happened and the next one will be summer. That will be coming up. So I hope that you all on Saturday will click on it. And it's supposed to be a premiere. My first time trying the premiere. So I will be there premiering on Saturday at 8 o'clock on YouTube. The premiere of the continuation of my garden review for 2023, and you'll help me reminisce. Hey, Rambo Green Hands, and Monica's on there, and Broke Blessed Farmer, and Steph and Sonia is with me. Yes. So I want us to so you can watch it. So look out for that. It's going to be on Saturday at 8 o'clock. I'm premiering my garden, and it's going to be the summer garden. Yeah. So it was really good just kind of looking back and seeing what the garden looked like. Now, was that the best photos? Maybe not. But it was just fun seeing it because right now everything looks so bare and cold and barren that just seeing my green garden helped me to feel revived and know, this too shall pass. January is going to pass. This too shall pass. And it's actually a blessing that we got to let us get some snow and rain and so forth, because now we know that the spring is going to be good because it's not dry. And also, a lot of the plants may get a chance to survive because of the fact that it has that layer of snow cover, which will help to protect them from the freeze. Because right now, we're experiencing freezing temperatures. Here in Boston, it's like at nights, it's like 19 degrees. And then during the day, it's like 25, 26, 27, something like that. But it's cold up here, up north. It's cold up here. So all you people in zones, even 7, 8, 9, yeah. Well, anyway, sometimes you get cold weather down there too, right? Sonia, in Texas? It does. Remember that time it got really cold there where they had that blackout and all of that ice storm and so forth? Yeah, so, but yeah, it's cold. January is a cold January. So we remember when the new year began in January, the ground was barren and cold. It did not appear as if anything will grow again. However, we know that in May that things are going to come alive. Even before that, by March, April, and we can see dramatic change. And that's going to encourage us to go on out and create what we see in our imagination. Hey, Gordon Zermi. Hey, Bev, how are you doing? Yes, so your imagination needs to get sparked, get juiced up, get ready, get ready, get ready for the change. It's coming, it's coming. This too shall pass. The cold is gonna pass. Yes. Get ready, people. Mm-hmm. We have to know that there will be unusual circumstances that will appear to hinder our progress. Still, we cannot allow them to stop the work or delay the forward movement of planning for our gardens because time waits for no one. We have to work while the opportunity is there. Each season has its own assignment. So we want to work, to get to work, to allow the garden to perform its splendor. And so be intentional. That's the point. Be intentional. And I thank you for the excitement of a new season and new possibilities for you all to be here with me. Yeah, spring is closer than you think. That's what we need to remember, right, Bev? Mm-hmm. Because you all help to keep me focused not on what is seen, but the unseen, the possibilities. It's a really a spiritual kind of journey here, because we don't look at things as they are, but we look at them what they can be, and so it pushes us to look past this present moment and know that this too shall pass. And I am just really happy to see this and to know this. So I've been doing some work, and as I was doing about 62 more days, says Monica. Oh, Monica's keeping track. That's good. That's good. Planting time, there's certain parts of the country in Israel, planting time in Israel. They're planting trees. And I want to talk about that, planting time in Israel and planting trees, and their conditions are kind of barren. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those pictures of the Holy Land. And you see that it's dry and barren. It looks horrible. But because they've been planting trees, the Bible itself is actually being coming to pass, that they've been able to, for the last 100 years, they've been planting trees, and what was a barren place is now green. It's green. They have forestry there, and it's changed the landscape. And so here in the cities, why planting trees in the cities? In Boston, we have what they call the Arboretum or the Arbor Way. And it's like Homestead, he designed different gardens or different areas throughout the city. So Boston is not as concrete, as some places are. But then there are some streets where they are. And then the other thing is that as my daughter and I were driving, and we went down one of the streets in our neighborhood, and it had just snowed, or it was snow. I think it was Sunday. And the trees looked like they were about to fall into the street. They were old trees, and they're starting to lean into the street. And sometimes I walk that street in the spring and the summer, and I find that, there are parts where it's very shaded and nice. But then if you run into a part where there are no trees, it is brutal walking, or especially if when the temperature rises. So trees are vital and important for city life as well, and for city dwellers. And I noticed that people have been cutting down their trees, which is not really a good thing because it increases the temperature. So now we're experiencing the lows, but then in temperature, but then without the trees, the highs, the heat is going to be tremendous, and you're going to need more water. Hey, Yankee Sister Homestead, how are you, Thelma? Yeah, so we're talking trees. And here in the Northeast, there are a lot of trees and so forth. But what is happening is that the trees are getting older. Don't forget to give me a like. I see quite a few people on, and I only see 3 likes. Come on, hit the like button and hit the share button so the rest of the people could come on. How are you all doing this morning? This afternoon. I started early, and so I wasn't, trying to rush it. But the thing is that I wanted to get going because I had all of these thoughts in my mind. And I said, well, I might as well get started. And for those who are going to watch the replay, they will get a good chunk of this information up front. And you all will be able to catch up with me, because the rest of you all will get the information. And then I'll be able to say howdy to everybody. Howdy, everybody, as I go along. Right, so planting time is, then the other thing is I wanted to talk about fruit trees. Fruit trees. This time last year, I had 2 fig trees growing. Remember my fig tree started growing? And that's another thing, growing trees from cuttings, and also growing fruit trees from seed. You can grow trees from cuttings, from seed, or you can get the little starts. I have a lot of oak trees around here, and so having little starts around are amazing. When the springtime comes, they just pop up because the squirrels are busy burying the seeds, the nuts, all over the garden. And then I have some maple trees. So I have quite a few of those maple tree saplings that are growing. And now they're getting very, very big. I'm going to have to trim some of them down to keep them manageable. But I do want to keep my trees because they offer shade, they offer coolness, they offer stability for the ground and the land. They offer, in the summertime, they help to cool the area. And my husband always says it. He says when he goes to a certain area where the shopping malls and so forth are, that it's always warmer in that, it's like a couple of degrees hotter over there than it is where we are. And I know why. It's because we have the shade. We have the trees, which keep our area cool. And so trees are vital. They're important. Trees are also important for erosion. That if you are experiencing any kind of flooding or erosion, it's good to have trees, because the tree roots, they sap up the extra water. And with all of the rain and the snow and things that have been happening, flooding and flash floods, it's good to have the trees, because the trees help to take up that extra water. So trees play a vital part in the landscape. And then, of course, our fruit trees. So I wanted to talk a little bit about fruit trees. And then with fruit trees, when to spray the fruit trees, and to start looking out for the fruit trees. As I was saying to those of you who just who were on earlier that I got this magazine, and they, in it, Young Seed and Plants, and they have different fruit trees. So you could order a fruit trees from them, and I think they have a larger selection. But they also have pear trees, Asian pears, cherry trees, apricot nectars, plum trees, peach trees, nut trees. Yeah. And then it also speaks, they also show evergreens and other trees. I love my evergreens. I was out looking at my arborvitaes, and I planted those arborvitaes on the side here about 25 or so years, and they look so beautiful. They were just looking majestic with the snow. I took a lot of pictures of it, and while it was snowing, and my arborvitaes just add such color and such life, because everything else, of course, is brown, but they give the greenery. So I do love the arborvitaes. So, Home Depot and Lowe's, they offer trees and flowering trees. So you could start to think about, well, do I want to get a tree? Where can I put a tree in my yard? How can my garden, how can I, maybe you can put it at the perimeters away from your vegetable garden and your flower gardens. But it does add color, it gives height, it makes things look alive. And know eventually that when you grow the trees, that they will eventually become big. And if that is your property and you are developing a homestead and you have family, that is something that you could leave for as legacy for your family. That if they inherit your property, that they will have trees, that they will have fruit trees and all of that. Yeah, hello JSGS, J3GS Farm. How are you? Hey Deborah, how you doing? She says, Deborah says, hello, I'm here, I'm listening. I have a tree in my windowsill that I will plant this year. Yay! Well, that's good. So I'm right on topic with that. Deborah's ahead of me. Very good, Deborah. Yeah, so let me just share with you this, because I read this article and it was so interesting. It says, tree planting efforts, just as my ancestors planted for me. It says, the further we went, the harder the sun got, and more rocky and bare, repulsive and dreary the landscape became. There was hardly a tree or a shrub anywhere, even the olive and the cactus. Those fast friends of worthless soil had almost deserted the country. And they're talking about Israel. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of it. And when you see it, it's amazing how dry see how dry that is? In the background there, but you can see that young lady, she is planting trees. Hey, G Mama, how you doing? Yeah, so tree planting efforts that are happening in Israel. It says how Israel got from hardly a tree or shrub anywhere to being one of the only countries in the world that ended the 20th century with more trees than it had in 1900s is primarily due to the efforts of the Jewish National Fund, which since its founding in 1901 has planted over 250 million trees throughout Israel. Isn't that amazing? By the late 19th century, with the decline of the Ottoman Empire, which controlled the land of Israel, the land itself had fallen into disrepair. The Galilee forests and the Carmel mountain range had been stripped of its trees, and the swamps and deserts had increased. Hey, Betty Johnson, how you doing? By 1903, the Jewish National Fund had purchased its first parcel of land in the coastal region of Hadera, and by 1935, it had already planted 1.7 million trees over a total area of 1,750 acres. In the early years of its land restoration, the fund planted large amounts of fast-growing conifers, that's like the arborvitaes, conifers, and pine forests proliferated throughout the country. And it just, doesn't it just make a difference to see, as I from here in my own garden, just seeing a tree, the regular oaks and so forth with the bare stems and so forth, versus seeing my arborvitaes with the green, especially off the white snow, the greenery. It just makes me happy. And I have a really nice picture there. I think I'm going to put it in a community page of my arborvitaes. I call my naturalistic side garden. It just makes you feel good to see green in the garden. So growing the conifers are good. And it says that forests in Israel today are used by the public for recreation and tourism, and urban forests and woodland near built-up areas improve air quality, reduce city heat, and maintain biodiversity. Yeah. And it is saying how now that they've made it a science, this growing of trees, high-tech tree planting in Israel, the latest research and technology. And a lot of this, I've been hearing about this too for cities, our cities where we live, that we need to think about how to drop the temperature, and also with climate change, that it affects climate change, the lack of trees. And they call many areas in the city that are just made up of concrete and cement and all of that stuff, asphalt, that it is hotter, and it's not as fresh and alive. So creating green spaces, that's why it's good to have even the community gardens that people are developing in the city. It's a good thing to organize that, and to have greenery, because gardens make a difference. Yeah. So what are you all saying? Hi, Deborah, G Mama, Gross. Monica's saying hi to everybody. Cute. Hello, Betty Johnson. Betty. Yeah, Monica's saying hello. I have 3 apple trees. My favorite is my Columnar green apple. Wow, that's good. Oh, wow, G Mama. I have a green apple, but I don't know what type it is. Oh, all of you with your green apple trees. That's nice. I'm just trying to get my apple tree to do well. I got a couple of Macintosh. It's a grafted kind of tree with all different graftings on it. And the Macintosh seems to do the best. Yes, I have 2 and hope both produce this year. Yeah, Thelma, you said last year that your tree did produce, that you got apples from your apple tree. That's good. That's good. So, yeah, one of the things we're talking about too is that that's really a good thing, and with the food source too, because you don't know what's going to happen. When I was younger, my family home where I grew up, it was a Jewish home, and they had planted a pear tree and plum trees in the yard. And we used to go and get this was a cooking pear tree, the cooking pears. And it was a big tree. And my brothers would climb that tree and shake the tree. And it would just be laden with pears. And we'd call the neighborhood kids. And they would come and get pears in grocery bags, the paper bag, grocery bags of pears. They'll go home and we'll just give away pears. And people looked forward to our pear tree producing. And they would come and get pears and take home with them. It was so bad that my father built a big fence at the back because the neighborhood kids on the other side, there was like, it was the way it was set up is that the next street over were apartments. So the kids from the apartments, because they don't have land and so forth, they would come into our yard and take our pears. They climbed the fence. My father built fence. They climbed over the fence. They would cut through the yard and get some pears and the plums. Those plums, the purple plums. That's what we had. And so when the plums would fall, the place would smell like a winery, because they have a certain aroma from the ripened plums. And we had two plum trees, so we had plenty of plums. So my point is that growing fruit trees in your yard is a good thing, because over time, you may not necessarily get the full benefit of it, but your children and grandchildren, if they value the land and you plan on passing it down to them, that they will have it. And as I said, the people who had planted the pear tree, they didn't realize it, but we benefited from it, and our neighborhood also benefited from it too as well. Says, I hope that they get their needed chill hours because we had a warm spell. Well, I hope so. Um, Yankee sister, they will go crazy for you once this cold weather is finished. What will? Baker's Delight and another red apple tree. Oh, all right. It's a dwarf apple tree, so it won't grow over 8 feet. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have two and hope both produce this year. All right. 8 feet, yeah. Well, the pear tree that we had in our yard, it was 2 stories. It was big, and the houses are tall anyway, so it's like a 2-story tree. So my brothers would climb up, and they learned their climbing skills. And the best pears were at the top of the pear tree. The best pears. I mean, they were good size pears, fully ripened and juicy. When you bite into them, the juice would just, coming down your face. And my mother would like to make like a pear sauce, and she didn't can, but what she did, she would put them in bottles and put them in the refrigerator. And after a while, they become fermented. So they had a nice fermented taste. My other tree has the Macintosh and Honeycrisp grafted together. Haven't gotten any from that one yet. I love pears. You do? Yeah, it was. You do, Sonia? It was really, it's really good memories. As children, we had really good memories with the pear tree. But right now, the pear tree is not there anymore. My brother inherited the house, and I guess the pear tree wasn't producing as well, and he cut down the pear tree and used it as a parking lot for his Road Ranger, his car. And it was a sad day to see the pear tree gone, but yeah. But we since, but that's what happened with that. But in the city, I wanted to just talk about trees for the city. The fruit at the top get the best sun. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Trees for cities. Trees in our cities. 10 reasons we need to plant more trees. Urban trees, especially urban trees, we need them because they're a source of beauty and interest. And they're crucial to environmental benefits. They have crucial environmental benefits, that they give a place to relax. And it was interesting how they discussed the fact that how trees have a way of causing you to relax, and that you can actually sit under a tree and feel the vibrations. Now with the new age thinking and so forth, and being at one with nature, that sitting under the tree puts us in. Is Rambo there? It puts us into that one with nature feeling, sitting under the tree. um, 80% of the people now are living in urban cities. So a lot of people have migrated to cities, and cities, even though they've gotten a bad rap, are the places where most people are. And with trees produce oxygen. So a mature leafy tree is able to provide oxygen for 10 people to breathe. And so number two, carbon and carbon dioxide, storing and soaking it up. Carbon sinks. They call trees carbon sinks. And also with climate change as well. G Mama says, I had to take my trees to Michigan since moving into an apartment. I miss them. Oh, G Mama. Sorry to hear that. Gardeners can help so much with the ecosystem. Yes, that is true. That is true. Maybe you could still have a small tree in your apartment, because when I was the principal of my school, they had tall windows and everything, and I got myself a fig tree. One of those tropical fig trees. Boy, did that thing grow tall. It filled the whole place. It was amazing. Over the years that I was there for about 9 years or so. That tree grew tall. It was a tree. It was a specimen. Yeah, and I liked having it in the office and in the school space because it helped to filter the air and all of that, and provided people loved to come to my office because it was just like a jungle. It was like an atrium, because I had these. I even had an orange tree, a mandarin orange tree, and I had another tree. I had my fig tree, so I'm okay. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. And it was nice. My fig tree, my mandarin orange tree was just about to bear, and I left the school then. I left it there, but I had a lemon Meyer tree, and it would gain its flowers, and it would smell, perfume the office. It was nice having that. All right, so the carbon and carbon dioxide that we have there with climate change also. They clean our air, the carbon dioxide and other pollutants and toxins. And it protects us from flooding, which is something that we need to really consider in the city, especially and within urban areas, urban flooding. It protects us from flooding. It absorbs water through roots and leaves and reduces soil erosion. I would like to get a Miro Kumquat, though I think that should fit. Okay. Yes, I'm glad that it's turning your wheels. This is a good discussion because now you're thinking trees. Wow. You could be intentional and do some more research on it. Good for you. Um, and trees keep things cool with the shade. They said that it releases water vapors and acts like an air conditioning unit. That trees act like an air conditioning unit, and it releases water vapors, so it keeps moisture in the air and it cools things down. And also trees are good for wildlife. Sonia says, I want a kumquat tree too, G Mama. Yep. So that's about the city life. And I wanted to talk to you all about that. And what else did I have here? All right, so with the fig trees, so think about the different fruit trees and fig trees. When it's best time to plant and spray, the dormancy oils. That's what I was thinking about. And with fruit trees, they said mid-January. So we're about time, soon to get, we're almost mid-January here. I would say we're mid-January. That you might want to start thinking about your fruit trees if you're going to spray them. And when fruit buds begin to swell but yet not open, that's the other time when you can spray. But you want to use either a general purpose spray, or a dormant spray in the spring, a dormancy spray in the spring, and the fungicide spray for like peach trees before the leaves open. So the insecticide sprays you use with the flower petals when the flower petals have fallen. The reason why you want to be careful with the sprays is because of the bees. You do not want to damage the bees. You don't want to damage the bees. So you want to be careful when you spray. But yes, spraying is this is the time to start thinking about that. If you need to spray your fruit trees, that you may want to get the ingredients together, the dormancy sprays, and find a good sunny, dry day to spray. Yeah, the dormancy sprays are supposed to be good for certain pests that they have. I didn't write down all of the details, but you could do your research too. And my peach tree was getting leaf curl and some other kind of stuff was kind of boring into it. Pests were boring into it. So I really needed, this year I did, or 2023, I didn't get any peaches. It didn't even flower. And it started getting leaf curl and so forth. But the leaves, it ended up though, looking healthy. After a while, the leaves came out and it was just beautiful. It was full and leafy. But initially, it looked quite sickly. And I had sprayed too in advance. But I guess I needed to spray at least twice. I've sprayed my fruit trees once, but I think I need to spray them more. And then I got aphids on my other plum tree. It flowered, which was good. The plum trees flowered. They looked very pretty. But then aphids came in, and there was a problem with the aphids. But one particular plum tree, my other plum tree, my golden plum tree, I got 2 plums, and the plums were delicious. I think I did show you all a picture. I put it up. I took a picture of it and ate it. It was so sweet and so delicious. And the first year I planted that plum tree or so, it was really good. Turmeric keeps boring insects out of bark. I had to treat my fig from boring insects, and it worked well. Wow, that's good. That's a natural. Yeah, the neem oil. I think that's one of the 2 dormancy sprays and so forth that I got were organic. They said that they were organic. No, I don't spray my fig tree either. The fig trees when it was growing well, it didn't need spraying. And last year, it had died back, and then it grew and it started producing figs, but it the figs were developing late in the season. It was late in the season when they started developing, and so I didn't get any figs. But hopefully, it could survive the winter chill and so forth, and I will be able to get figs this year. Hopefully, I don't know. Whatever it was just a harsh spring, which affected my rose bushes, the fig tree, and other things, other flowering. Yes, I spray neem oil twice a season. Yeah. See, that's what I don't do, and that's what I need to do, is to spray them. I don't get any figs and a few green lemons. Yeah. Well, the figs should come. They will come. It took a while before the fig tree actually started bearing well. And then after a while, I think it took like almost a good 3 years or so before my fig tree started bearing. It took some years. And then after that, it did. And for 2 years or so, I had some really nice figs. And I was just so happy. And then a cold snap came, and that was the end of that. Um, it uh, it affected the fig tree, but then it came back again, which was good because I think it has a good root system, and so it bounced back. It looked pretty. At least it looked pretty, and if anything, it looks exotic and pretty in the yard. Yeah, there is hope, Thelma. There is hope. Yes, yes, there is hope. And so, yeah, it's something to think about. You want to grow as much as you can, and you want to grow a variety of plants in your garden. You don't want to just have one kind of plants, you want diversity. And that's what they were saying here also in this article, that they found out that having diversity and different types of trees in the space that they had created actually helped the soil and helped things to grow. So instead of just like having just all conifers growing, they diversified, which actually they said helped to keep pests away and helped to strengthen the ecosystem of the forests. And so that is so even for home gardeners, that's why I like gardening the way that I do, because um, it provides that diversity. And so if one thing is not doing well, then the other plants will be doing well. And you're not just stuck to growing one thing, that there's that diversity. What are you saying? G Mama's having a good old time. Feed that soil, y'all. Yes. Yeah, you gotta feed the soil. Hey, Francesca. Yeah, the soil nutrients has to be the best. Yes. Yeah, feed the soil. And so the compost and so forth is good. Fresh compost, and it will always help. That's what kept the pear tree healthy, because my father, he would keep the leaves in the back, and then he would create compost, and then he would dig up the leaves and put that compost, the decaying leaves and so forth, and debris around the root of the tree, and put dirt on top of it, some more dirt on top, so that it was mounded. The tree was very healthy because my father composted, and we had healthy, healthy trees. Yeah. So it was good. It was good. What's on your mind? I've heard so much about the blackstrap molasses. Where do you get it? Blackstrap molasses isn't Blackstrap molasses, isn't it in the store? Yeah, then in the container you can get molasses. I love blackstrap molasses. That's all I buy. Yeah, it's good. Francesca. Yes. Yeah, so what's on your mind? It's at the store. What are you all thinking about? Yeah, so trees are important, and especially at this particular time. Trees are important. Now, the regular supermarket, yep, at the regular supermarket in the baking area, you will get blackstrap molasses. Molasses, they sell it there. All right, so I'm going to give you this, and then, oh, the time is a moving. 20 reasons why we should plant trees. Okay? There's 20 reasons why you should plant trees. And I hope this inspires you, especially when springtime comes around, like in February, March, late February, early March. Lowe's is going to start to introduce trees in their lot, and also a Home Depot. And our local garden center also sells free fruit trees. That's where I got my fruit trees from the local garden center. And it's a little more expensive, but it's, they actually started to flower and do what they needed to do much quicker. I bought two apple trees from Lowe's, and I'm still waiting for them to flower and so forth. They're in there, but they say sometimes it takes like up to 5 years for fruit trees to get established. But so you might want to consider the age of the trees that you're buying. Know that if you're buying them as a little seedling, that it's going to take a little while for them to develop. But if you can get them as mature as possible, you might have a chance of actually getting fruit right away. So let me read this to you, and I'll give you 20 reasons why we should plant trees. And then I'm going to sing, grow, 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 grow together. Captain's Garden and Home. That's right. We started a little early, I know. But yeah, my youngest daughter started an apricot tree. Yeah, it'll take a little bit, but she'll get something. She'll grow along with her tree, Francesca. So as native forests vanish at alarming rates, but the importance of their service they perform for us gains more recognition. Planting trees has emerged as an iconic and highly impactful practice. Are you ready to find out the most amazing reasons why we should plant trees? Trees are part of our natural environment. They are used to build the very buildings that we live in, and we even write with, eat food from, sit on, and read from products that are made from trees. Have you considered how all of that? Yes, our homes made from the wood, the trees, and all of that. Yeah, we get a lot from trees. Trees are part of our natural environment. They are used in many different ways. The significance of trees in our lives is is beautifully depicted by our need to create protected areas where they can be admired. There are several tourist locations and traditions around the world that celebrate trees and their perceived powers on our well-being. Now, when I read this is very good to know that having trees around and seeing them, that it helps our well-being. Their places often hold spiritual significance and cultural importance for communities surrounding them. And when I read that, I said, oh, that is why in Israel it's a spiritual thing with the trees, but also it's a cultural thing, and it's a part of their growth. It's part of their Zionist movement. But then it also said here, for example, you may have heard that in Japan, the practice of Shinrin Shoku, or forest bathing, has gained popularity. Have you ever heard of that, forest bathing? I've never heard of forest bathing. Yes, and in Japan, that's what they do. And this is how it is. It involves spending time relaxing in a forest whilst trying to be present and perceive with all the senses the surrounding environment. This therapeutic practice is believed to reduce stress and boost overall well-being. So like when when we were small and we used to sit on the grass, you go to the park, and your mom says, sit on the grass. You sit on the grass and you're under the tree. all of that, you were getting stress relief by sitting under the tree and touching the ground and being, playing in the mud and all of that. Because you were connecting with the earth. Yep. I remember sitting underneath the pear tree and everything. And we had another large tree in our yard as well. Um, yeah, it releases our inner child. All right, Francesca, that's it. So that's what can happen with the trees. The banyan tree holds cultural and religious significance in India. Many believe that sitting or meditating under a banyan tree can bring about spiritual enlightenment and healing. Some banyan trees in India are considered sacred and are revered as a symbol of divine protection. In the Celtic tradition, certain trees are associated with each month of the year, forming the Celtic tree calendar. These trees are believed to possess unique healing properties and spiritual attributes during the given season. As you can see, trees often represent the most sacred values of life, and because trees are so important, there are many reasons why we should plant more of them. Ready to learn more? And you know that trees, well, the tree of life, the Bible talks about what? The tree of life, right? There you go. And then also trees are for the leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nations. So in the West Indies, my mother planted a mango tree, a soursop tree. We had other trees there, and she would gather the leaves from the tree, especially the soursop tree. She would gather the leaves and she would have us drink the tea leaves, especially if you had a tickle in your throat. You would drink those tea leaves and you recover because of the healing properties in the leaves of the trees, the mango trees. And then she'd make this concoction, add pull a little leaf here, a little leaf there, and boil it. And we would drink it in the morning. And that's why many of them stay very healthy. My mother is 90-something years old. And they've lived very long because of those the leaves and drinking the leaves from the trees and so forth. But anyway, yeah. So 20 reasons why we need to plant trees. Standing tall and strong in the landscape, well rooted in the ground with branches swinging in the wind, trees are one of the most stabilizing elements in the landscape. Wildlife and people have instinctively been drawn to trees for safety in times of discomfort, and it has always worked in our favor. Number 1, trees hold soil in place and prevent erosion. That is so true. Trees are a powerful tool in controlling soil erosion. They are one of the best natural defenses against land degradation. And when we plant vegetation with deep roots, especially in vulnerable areas like riverbanks, hillsides, streams, the soil becomes more stable and less susceptible to be misplaced. So if you're experiencing flooding in your area, planting trees will help. The root systems will help to stabilize the soil over time. So that might be something if you're experiencing flooding, or if you see your land shifting, you might want to plant some trees. Trees help to stabilize soil also by absorbing excess moisture with their roots and releasing it into the atmosphere through their leaves. Number 2, trees clean the soil pollutants. Trees have the ability to absorb pollutants from deeper soil layers and immobilize them in their woody parts. Yeah, so if you need your soil to be, if there are pollutants in the soil, that the trees on your property will help to clean up that. from pesticides and from heavy metals or things like that. And the leaves too also help. 3, trees help to slow storm water runoff. Trees do so much for water. Their role in water management in the natural and cultural landscape is irreplaceable. By improving soil structure, increasing organic matter content in soils, trees promote water retention capacity of soils. Yeah, so the leaves of the trees, the leaves fall, and if you don't, just clean up all of the leaves like that, but allow some of that to, especially in forests and so forth, it helps to keep the moisture down and to keep the soil healthy so that the microbes can live. Trees recycle nutrients, yep. It helps with soil fertility by building up organic matter. Trees sequester carbon dioxide. Yeah, the trees take in the carbon dioxide and they let out the what? The oxygen. Yes, so that you can breathe well. Trees produce oxygen. Number 7, trees clean the air pollutants. Number 8, some animals are dependent upon trees. Number 9, trees make cities more livable. Yes, they do. Number 10, trees increase property value. Did you know that your trees increase your property value? It is well known that when a home has mature trees growing on the property, it will sell for 7 to 19% more than if there were no trees planted there. So if you want to increase your property value, plant trees. Trees help to save energy. The presence of trees and other vegetation reduce air and surface temperature through shade and evaporation. Yep. Trees create a sense of place. Yeah, trees can give a place unique character and beauty that can only be found in that specific place. Yeah, I love, in Maryland, they have certain trees, a flowering tree that I love, that is just it can't grow in our area because we're too cold, but I would love to try it. They have a lot of fruit flowering trees that grow, like in the Washington, D.C. area, the cherry trees and so forth that do very well. They just add such a beauty at a certain time of the year. Trees feed us. We get food from trees, yes. Trees are an investment for our communities and future generations, and trees help to maintain local water cycles. Trees play a very important role in the maintenance of local water cycles. Trees hold water, prevent flooding, recharge underground aquifers, and maintain water vapor in the atmosphere, increasing the opportunity for rainfall. Yeah. So, and trees help to buffer storms. That's true. Trees help to buffer storms. Trees produce products for our use. And number 18, trees are visibly beautiful, especially in the fall. Number 19, trees help control noise. Now, that was a good one because of the fact that I'm surrounded by trees, I don't hear a lot of the noise that's happening on the major street because I'm not far from a major street, but because I'm surrounded by trees, it makes my garden feel like a secret garden, and it provides privacy as well, and it keeps like the noise from the neighbors and other city noise that would be distracting. It helps to buffer it. And 20, trees have potential to prevent and stop wildfires. Isn't that amazing? I thought trees help the wildfires to spread, but they said in some situations trees could play a crucial role in wildfire prevention and mitigation of the spread of wildfires. This happens when the forests are managed in a proper way. Proper forest management includes controlled burns, thinning, and frequent removal of dead wood. These techniques reduce the amount of fuel available for wildfires to ignite and spread. So that's it for trees. I hope that you enjoyed our little conversation. What is on your mind? Any questions? Any concerns? Anything that you want to share? Put it out in the chat. I'm glad that you all hopefully it got you thinking. We have a forest of trees to the north and west of our property, and it helps when the cold winter winds blow. Yeah, that's true. Yes, as we grow together in Catherine's garden and home. That's right. Grow together. Grow together. Grow together in Catherine's garden and home. In Catherine's garden and home. That's right. And you know that what they say about trees? That we are like trees. Men that look like trees. Yes, and women. So, you know, we are connected to trees. Yes, we are part of the tree world. Catherine's garden and home. Gee, mama. Catherine's garden and home. Gardens are me. And Catherine's garden and home. Sonia. Catherine's garden and home. Yankee sister. Catherine's garden and home. Deborah. Catherine's garden and home. Monica. Catherine's garden and home. Who did I miss? Sonia, Catherine's garden and home. Francesca, Catherine's garden and home. All of you, garden home. I don't know, Broke Farmer's still in the house. And Rambo, all the guys that showed up. Thank you all for coming. I do appreciate it. I recognize your presence. Yeah. I thank you all. You all make me happy. And you all are a wonderful gardening community. I'm just trying to go back. There's some other people that were Betty Johnson, Catherine's garden and home. Deborah, Rambo, Sonia. That's right. That's right, G Mama. That's right. Oh, you all make me happy. Broke Farmer blessed. Broke blessed farmer. Yes. Catherine's garden and home. And Catherine's garden and home. And Catherine's garden and home. That's right. And Catherine's garden and home. And Catherine's garden and home. We're happy over here. You know, stay warm, my wonderful people. Stay warm, stay blessed. You know, think about growing trees. You know, pull out your notebooks, your journals. Start writing down what you just thought about. Write in your journal. One of the things you might be looking for is a particular tree, that moringa tree. Put it down in your journal so that you won't forget it. You forget that you've thought about it and that what you intentionally want to do. So pull out your journal and some of the things, because for spring, you might want to start to put that out there. What are some of the things that you want to get? You know, what are your goals? What are some of the things that you want to have? Make sure that you put it down. Yes, Monica, have a beautiful night, everyone. Be blessed. Monica, are you going to get trees? Are you going to put trees in your garden? And do you have trees? I wanted to ask you that question. But anyway, next time, have a nice night. And make sure that you start to think about it. Get your seeds. Probably by next week, I will have some. Yes, absolutely. It's a cold one here at 2 above. I'm praying for you all to be covered and protected from the elements. Yeah, that's true. Stay warm, stay healthy, stay blessed, everybody. And know that spring is on the way. Yeah, so bye. Thank you so much, Sonia, for covering and moderating. I appreciate you. Yes, I do have a moringa tree. You do? Oh, okay. I knew you had something going on there. That's good. That's good. All right. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And oh, by the way, I want to let you know that I'm going to have a premiere on Saturday at 8 p.m. I'm premiering my summer garden review for 2023. And so I can meet you there in the chat. We could talk about what's going on in your garden as well. And also, you get to see and remember and stay warm. The other one will be the following Saturday. So it's a three parts, one covering spring, one summer, and then the fall and winter review of Catherine's Garden and Home. Yes, so please join me on Saturday at 8 p.m. For the premiere of that. Have a great day, everybody. Love you all. Bye. Bye, friends.